Alrighty, here I am. I'm just going to give my thoughts on the 13 remake that just came out last night, November 9th, at about 10 p.m. I have not beaten it yet. I've made it only to where you just escaped with Carrington in the cable car, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far. And let me make myself clear, I have played the original 13 many times in the past. I know it came out 2003. I've been playing it since my dad got it for me on the GameCube way back in the day. So as long as I can remember, I've been such a huge fan of the 13 original game that came out. And I've beaten it on fucking GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, all three. Because what happened now is I have the PS2 version and the Xbox version, but I don't have the GameCube version anymore. So anyway, my brother ruined it with a knife, took a knife to the disc because we were young and he was mad at something. Anyway, my hell, this remake is, I'm gonna just come out and say it, it's a disappointment. It is a big disappointment, and I'm honestly sad to say that, because I have respect for the guys who remade this game, because I can tell that by making it, they're fans of the original game too, but they didn't do it right, honestly. I am very disappointed, especially because, well, it was $50 too. They charged almost full price for this game. I'm like, oh, guys, come on. Like, this seems like maybe at most a $30 game, because it's not put together very well. The frame rate it gets so choppy. I swear the frame rate drops to like, I think 20 frames per second at times, if not lower. I'm not too good at gauging that, but it drops lower than it should for an Xbox One game or a PS4 game, and it just, God, I'm running on an Xbox One S, not an Xbox One X, but that's no excuse, honestly. If games like Apex Legends or Halo Master Chief Collection can run as smooth as a beautiful woman's naked body, you get what I'm saying, then this game should be able to as well. There's no excuse, honestly, and especially since it was supposed to be released last year in 2019 in November, I think it was November, and it didn't end up getting released, and it got pushed a full year, and it just now got released November 2020, because it needed work, apparently. It needed extra work. They had to do some more stuff to it, so it wasn't ready to be released, even though they took that extra year, and it's still... It does not seem like it's ready to be released. Like, what the fuck were you guys doing with that whole year? What could have possibly needed work on? That wasn't the frame rate, and that wasn't also the where I noticed more often than not the characters' mouths are not moving with the words. In fact, most of the time, or at least half the time, I've noticed the characters' mouths are not moving at all when the characters are talking. They didn't really move to the words in the original game back in 2003, but they moved, and it's also understandable because it was a cel-shaded game way back in 2003. That was pretty uncommon, I'm pretty sure, back in that time. So they did good with what they had, and the fact that they released that game with, I don't know of any glitches. I'm sure there are some, but I don't really know of any. I don't know of any really hard, incriminating stuff against the game. It was a well done game. It's awesome. I love that game. I played it just about a week ago or so on my Xbox to, psych up and get all prepped and excited for the remake, because I just, that's what you do. So I played the original, and it's just, it never disappoints. It's always an amazing game. It will never disappoint. I don't care what anybody says. Fuck that, that as time goes on, older stuff gets, more quote-unquote lame. Fuck that shit. That's bullshit. 13 will always be a beautiful game. Fallout New Vegas will always be a beautiful game. Gears of War 1 through 3 will always be the best Gears of Wars ever made, and so on and so forth, And, you know, like San Andreas will always be one of the greatest Grand Theft Autos ever made. 4 is amazing too. I haven't played the campaign of 5 yet, but I definitely do think 5 is overrated. I'm just saying, if you like 5, that's okay. And if nobody's even listening to this, that's okay too. If I'm just putting my thoughts out there into the universe, that's okay. And just, I gotta get it out. Because I was just playing this, and I've stopped now in the middle of it because it, it's hard. It's so hard. Anyway, but just, oh, hell. Well, not only that, the faces of the characters are just, what the hell were they thinking? General Carrington, what the hell were they thinking? Wally Sheridan, what the hell were they thinking? Major Jones, what the hell were they thinking, changing her appearance that much? And then not only that, I've noticed that with the characters, like, the figures of the characters in the game, they are kind of all over the place a lot. Like, they ragdoll a little excessive at times. It's, it's insane. So, if I had to say at the end of this little speech, maybe some good things about the remake so far, I definitely prefer the shotgun action in this one in comparison to the original, because I like how in this one I can take a shotgun right up to a guy with a pump action shotgun, and I can pop that bitch with one fucking hit, and then usually their bodies just go flying back or something, like they're ragdoll in the good way, and I like that. I like that a lot. But anyway, I don't like okay, so when you shoot a guy in the head with the crossbow in this, or sniper rifle, you know how in the original it had that animation and it made the sound effects, dun dun dun, and it like zoomed in on their head. That was the shit. It doesn't really do that in this one at all. There's no good sound of, I can't say that. Like, they included a lot of the sound effects. All the voices are the same. The music, I think, is changed in some spots, but I could be wrong. And fucking, I've noticed that a lot of the sound effects in the remake so far are not, or a lot of the sound effects from the original are not in the remake. So, when you shoot a guy in the head and it goes doo doo doo, that sound effect is not there. That's disappointing because there's just something satisfying about that, and it doesn't even show the zoom up camera or whatever when it does the doo 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 and it zooms in further and further and further. And also in the remake, I've noticed so far that when there's the flashbacks, it doesn't have that the ominous noise in the background when everything's black and white and it's all blurred a little bit because it's just a flashback. Instead, it's just pure silence and it's nothing but the characters talking while everything's in black and white. And I'm just like, where the hell are the ominous noises? I like those ominous noises. I'm not going to try and imitate them because I'd probably fail horribly, but anybody who's played the original game will know what I'm talking about. And then not only that, a lot of the time, like when a grenade gets thrown in the remake, it's not the same sound effects from the first one. Oh, and then also, I would say, don't even get me started on the explosions in this game. Whenever you throw a grenade, half the time there's no sound to the explosion. And when there is, it's this weak little, basically, pew sound. I mean, in comparison to the original game, that's what it sounds like. And it's sad, and it's pathetic, and it's disappointing. And again, I mean, no disrespect to the team that made this remake come to life, because like I said, they at least put in the time and effort to make a remake and kind of help bring 13 back to life, because it's a well-deserved game and it's amazing. I'm totally fine if it never got brought back to life, but the fact that they wanted to do that says something about them. And also something else is there's no online multiplayer in this remake. And I swear, I read somewhere that there's supposed to be online multiplayer. And that was like half the reason I got it, because I was so excited and pumped up to go online in this game and go shoot other people. Meanwhile, we're all celebrating this amazing game that is 13. I was so excited for that because the multiplayer on the original is fucking amazing with the local multiplayer. And on certain versions like the GameCube, there's modes like The Hunt, where you're chasing this death-looking figure around, shooting them, and they get smaller as you shoot them more and more. And it's whoever completely shoots the death till they evaporate, they win. And it was just so fun. I love that mode, and I was hoping that I'd be able to play that online with people in this, or just good old deathmatch or team deathmatch. But no, there's none of that, and I'm so disappointed in this remake so far. Like, overall, yeah, again, I have respect for the team that did this, but I am just so disappointed, and I'm hoping that with patches, maybe they can fix this game. Maybe, like, people will leave good feedback, or not good feedback, but feedback saying what, they should fix. Like, the sound effects that are missing, like the ominous noises and the flashbacks, that's okay if they don't re-add those. I get it. Maybe that was just part of the vision. They want to change it up a little bit for the remake and just have it be different. Not everything needs to be the same, of course not. But things like the frame rate, absolutely something has to be done there. I don't know what. I'm not a whiz when it comes to making video games as much as I wish I was. I am not. Maybe one day I will be. But the frame rate, something needs to be taken care of with that. Ragdolling characters like a little excessively. Like I shot a guy who was way up high. He fell down and he landed in some crates, and like his body was just vividly ragdolling, moving. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Sometimes that's fun in a game, but not in this case. It was honestly just when it wasn't even just that. Like I even went to the local multiplayer to you could select your character, and when it showed the characters, their heads were kind of like twisting and stuff. I was like, "What the fuck?" So that, whatever that is called, that needs so frame rates and the ragdolling effects kind of on the characters' bodies, and sound effects like the explosion sounds are just not even there half the time. So that's disappointing. Some sound effects need to be fixed, and not only that, and the characters' mouths need to move to the words. Guys, this is 2020 video games. The Xbox Series X is about to come out. Come on, don't just fucking scamp out on a game like that and just say, it's okay if their mouths don't move. Guys, come on, you're calling this a remake? I was expecting a remaster when I found out that all the characters' voices were going to be the same, and the music was going to be the same, which I was really excited for, and still, that's honestly... So, when you shotgun a bitch in this game, and they drop with one shot, and they just kind of ragdoll, that's fun. I really enjoy that in this game so far. And yeah, all the voices are the original, and it's... That's another con. So far there's... Or no, not con, pro. My apologies. The pros. Ragdolling a bitch, one shot with the shotgun, and then the voices from the original game. Those are the two pros I have so far. And the music too, obviously. But like I said, I feel like the music's different. The music is too quiet. I will say that. The music is so goddamn emphasized in the original game, and I actually really like that. I like that it's just kind of blasting in your ears at all times, but you can still understand what people are saying, well, especially because they force you to have the subtitles on the screen. But, yeah, the music's way too quiet, and the volume's all the way up on that. I even have the dialogue volume turned down and the sound effects volume turned down a little bit, just to try and emulate that of the original game, that aspect of the original game. So, anyway, yeah, so there's just definitely a lot of things with this game that I hope they get around to fixing at some point. I really, really do hope that they do. I'm honestly probably here in the next day or two, if I see no updates being released for this game, like them trying to fix certain things, and like if they just say they're releasing the game and this is it, this is what it is, take it or leave it. In the next couple of days, I think I'm going to submit for a refund, because I paid $50 that I honestly could have used in my personal life, bills and savings and stupid stuff like that, stupid bullshit. Or I could use that $50 to go towards another game called Man-Eater that I've been wanting to play for a fat minute because it looks very reminiscent of Jaws Unleashed, another video game for the original Xbox and PS2, which I really, really enjoyed. I love Jaws Unleashed so much, and when I saw Man-Eater coming out, I was so excited, but for some magical reason I still haven't bought it. Money, procrastination, yeah. So yeah, I'm probably going to submit for a refund for 13 in the next couple days. I don't even know if I'll get around to beating it, because I've seen enough. I've experienced enough thus far. And I think I'd rather go play Maneater. I'd rather spend $40 on Maneater and then pocket $10 from 13. I honestly and genuinely feel bad for anybody who is having the 13 remake be their very first experience with the 13 universe. Because the original is just phenomenal. It is amazing. Alright, there's my little rant on 13 Remake. That's all I had, honestly. Yeah, I don't care if anybody listens or not. I'm just putting my thoughts out into the universe.